Wednesday, November 25th! There is the closing bell, guys. With the S&Ps closing down about 5 points, we spent most of the day down heading into Thanksgiving. I got a lot I want to go over, so let's break this market down, and then I'll show you the top 3 stocks on the day. You don't want to miss them. First out the gates, we'll take a look at the S&P 500, and the first thing that I'm noticing, guys, we closed lower than where we opened in the real trading hours, guys. You can see we got rejected right there at around 3:30. Overall picture, we faded down through the night session, guys. We had a nice pop at 7 o'clock. However, that was short-lived, and it was just faded, and then we got the European dump, and stocks were just heavy throughout the session today. We cruise on and we take a look at the SPX. We spent most of the day camped around this upper edge of the expected move. We put it on a 10-minute, guys, and you can see we had Monday session. We popped up kind of not too big. Tuesday, we gapped up. We hit that upper edge, guys. We camped it all today, guys. We have no trade tomorrow, and we have a shortened trade session on Friday. We close at 1 p.m. So we have just Friday's session left. What makes the most sense? Well, what makes the most sense is to kind of come back down to the mean, 35.57. How much do we fall? It depends on what the other sectors want to do. But we cruise on over and we take a look at the NASDAQ, guys, and we see the NASDAQ is up 0.7% on the day. It's our only index that is green when we look at the S&Ps, when we look at the Dow, when we look at the Russell 2000. So we see technology is having a solid day. People are running into it as the safe haven trade. You can just see right there. When we compare to the big five, though, the big five that consists of Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Facebook are up 1.15%. You can see that's outperforming the NASDAQ, and it's helped keep our S&P intact with the S&P down just 6 points. That is largely due to the big five, mainly Amazon up 2% and Apple up 0.75%, but they are helping big time. We cruise on over and we take a look at the small caps, and we see the small caps are down about 0.3%. It's a slight down day. However, they've been so hot. I expect to see some red days here soon in the Russell. We take a look at what it consists of. Well, financials were down about 0.35% on the day. However, when we look at it on the day, and you can see we're closing right where we opened roughly in the XLF, guys. We take a look at the XLE, however, and the XLE is down about 2.3%. XLE has been a hot trade, so it's all right to see a down day, but the fact that the financials and the energy sector are down, it's hurting the Russell, and it's just putting dampen effect across the market. We see the healthcare sector down about 0.35%, and this is just ugly. All these red candles in here, it looks pretty wild. When we take a look at other sectors, just about every sector is near flat to down. We see utilities that are up 0.25%, real estate up 0.25%, technology up 0.2%, and consumer discretionary up 0.10%. Everything else is down, flat to down, guys. So how does our advanced decline line look? Well, we take a look at our AD line and we see 30 are advancing and 70 are declining. It's not too bad. We're not seeing that full blown to the downside, so things are kind of holding intact, and that's largely due to our big five. So we had the Federal Reserve come out with their minutes today at 2 p.m. How did the bond market react to those minutes? Well, we take a look at the bonds, and the first thing I notice, we are now into the March contract, guys. We are rolling here, but the active contract now is the March contract in the bonds. We zoom in and take a look at the bonds at the 2 o'clock news drop on those minutes, and you can see bonds didn't like those minutes and they tumbled. The minutes mentioned something about possibly having to buy more bonds. So clearly in the bigger picture, when we look at this on the bonds on the daily, it's looking weak. Who wants to own the bonds when the Federal Reserve is in the backyard? So we see that equities are mixed, with technology up and then just about every other sector down. We see that the bonds are also down. What's the volatility traders doing? We take a look at the VIX, guys, and we can see the VIX is down about 3.5%, and it can't catch a green day to save its life. We look at the VIX cash index. Now, we're not going to get much read from this, but it is cool to just see, and we're at 21, guys. Getting underneath 20 is scary to see if the VIX gets there. However, we don't want to look at the VIX to get our forward look. Let's move on and take a look at the VVIX, which is the volatility of the volatility. And we can see we're spent 2 days below this 110 line, and we're putting in a sizable wick here. We zoom in and we see the VVIX catching a little bid into the final 30 minutes of trade. Can that continue into Friday's cash session? We'll have to watch that closely. But volatility for the most part is trying to find a bottom, and it's looking for a reason to pop. Let's move on and take a look at the US dollar and what's the dollar up to. We take a look at the US dollar, guys, and the dollar is dipping a little bit lower as well. Let's take a look at how it reacted to those Fed minutes, and you can see 2 o'clock hit, dollar had some volatility, popped up, and then it came right back down to where it was. But the bigger picture, the dollar is heading south, guys. How is that going to affect our metals? Well, we take a look at gold. Gold's trying to find a bottom. Is 1800 where it wants to park for the next couple weeks? We'll find out. However, when we look at the silver market, silver is actually up ever so slightly today. You can see that right there. And silver hasn't put in a lower low like gold has. You just clearly see the two charts right there. But we move on and we take a look at the crude oil. I'm mentioning crude oil today because crude oil had back-to-back days breaking out. It's been in a tight range and now it's heading north. How much higher can crude oil go? I don't know. But let's move on and look at Bitcoin and wrap things up. Well, we look at Bitcoin, guys, and Bitcoin got 19.6K hit. However, it's down today about $150, but that's nothing in Bitcoin. Bitcoin can snap and be right back up at 19.5K. It'll be interesting to see how Bitcoin trades over Thanksgiving and into Friday's session, but we'll be watching it and we'll see what it does. But there you have it, guys, for the market breakdown, guys. There is no trade tomorrow, so I won't be posting a video. And we have a shortened session on Friday. I believe we close at 1 p.m. So the video will be out earlier than usual, guys. But without further ado, let's get right into it and let's look at the top 3 stocks on the day. So we go to the scan, guys. We hit the scanner and we take a look. Well, the top 3 on my list today goes to Work, Fisker, and Jumia, guys. Let's take a look at these up close, starting from the bottom. So we'll go to Jumia, guys, and let's take a look at this thing. Jumia Technologies. I see that it's an ADR. When it's an ADR, that means it's not located in the United States. It's actually located in Germany for this example, guys. Now, what does Jumia do? Jumia is an e-commerce company platform in Africa. It's had some amazing volume since October. And we take a look at it on the expected move. It's had back-to-back weeks. You can see right here was last week's, blew past it. Here's this week's, blew past it. So back-to-back weeks blowing past this expected move. What makes the most sense for Jumia is to come back down, possibly into next week. Look for $28, possibly Jumia can get there, guys. But Jumia is coming in at number 3, up 23% on the day. Moving on, we move on to Fisker Inc, guys. And Fisker Inc today is up 35% on the day, guys. Fisker Inc is located in California and it's an electric vehicle company. I went to their site very quickly and it's called the Fisker Ocean. They have about a $5 billion market cap, and on a year to date, they're up 112%, guys. When we take a look at it on the expected move, we can see it blew past the expected move 2 weeks ago. Last week, it was kind of mellowed out. And then this week, we're blowing out of the expected move, guys. This is a hot stock, guys, and bigger picture, it's got room to run. Look at that sizable player coming into this stock, guys. 61 million volume just alone today, guys. Moving on, last but not least, the number 1 stock on the day goes to Work. It's Slack Technologies, guys. This stock is up 37.5% today. And what does Slack do? Well, Slack brings people, applications, data together. It's for big companies to communicate in their small circle, keeping things private, guys. It's an SaaS stock, a software as a service, and I really like these stocks going forward. They have a lot of move they can make, guys. It's about a 22 billion market cap. On a year to date, it's up about 76%, guys. But the reason why we're seeing this spike so much is because CRM, Salesforce, is talking about buying this company outright and acquiring them. So that's why we're seeing a huge spike in this stock today. But there you have it, guys, for the top stocks of the day. Also, my market breakdown. If you've enjoyed the video, guys, hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it when you guys show some support and you hit the like. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. What are some of your top stocks on the day that you guys traded or looked at? And if you're new to the channel, guys, I do these daily, so show some love. Hit the subscribe button, guys. It will really make my day. But on that note, guys, I won't see you tomorrow, but I will see you on Friday for the week wrap up, guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. Take care.